Hello and welcome to that Peter Crouch podcast. I'm Dubai Des and this is Chris Stark.
Yep.
How are we?
Very good. Yeah, no Sidwell here. And also we're kind of in unfamiliar circumstances here today. We're in a fancy hotel suite just ahead of a chat we're going to do with John Bishop today. We thought we'd get him on the podcast.
Well, it's a Hollywood movie is being made or has been made based on his life, written by Bradley Cooper.
Which sounds pretty random. I mean, to me, that already sounds like no offence to John, it sounds like an FA Cup draw.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to do a story about John Bishop, written by Bradley Cooper, starring ...
It's amazing, isn't it?
But anyway, we've wanted to get him on the podcast for a while, so this seemed like a good excuse to do it. Annoyingly, Steve Sidwell's on another one of his holidays.
No, I mean, yeah. He's on more holidays than me, and he's taking the piss now.
But that's fine. But you're the original Dubai Des, and just on that, can you talk about what happened in our WhatsApp group?
Yeah. I just put something in.
This was great.
It was amazing, and also I'm going to reveal this, but I don't want him to get in any trouble, so I'm going to put a disclaimer in. This service is the service I want. Basically, my car went back, and I got a message from someone who's picking up the car, and he says, "This is from the person who's picking up my car. Obviously, my number's been given over. Dubai Des." It's so-and-so here from the car team. I'm looking to come collect your car later this afternoon. I'll confirm an exact ETA when I'm about an hour away, but currently looking at 2 to 2:30. Regards to the family, and likewise for one ball and bullseye Sids. Now, I know some of you have been thinking, cool, that's not very professional, but I'm going to go the other way and say that is ultra professionalism.
Yeah.
But he's tailored the service to my every need. And did I feel that was too familiar? No, I want more of that in my life. This is what I want from people that are, working with me, or, I'm paying them to do a service, or I enjoyed the personalised
Well, it's
message.
massive from him, isn't it? Because he's got two decisions there. So he knows it's you. So he's either got to kind of do that thing where he pretends to not know it's you and just act completely anonymous. Quite missionary and boring in reply, it could be.
Yeah, it's one of those, like you get called Mr. Crouch.
Yeah, Mr. Crouch, but almost written as if he doesn't know who you are. And the reality is he knows who you are. And by the sounds of it, likes the podcast. Or if you're going to go the other way, you go fully the other way, shoot your shot. And it seems to be that he's gone with the latter.
Well, he has. And I think because I encouraged it, there's more.
Yeah.
So I've obviously done laughing emojis, and then, got back to business of, I'll make sure someone's home between those times, basically. And he's just come back with this.
Hi, pal. I'm just leaving my previous drop now. I'm exactly 1 hour away. I'm assuming it won't be you or San Marino. There's going to be there at the house to hand over. So if there's anyone you prefer me to contact, just fire over the details, mate. Cheers, buddy.
Absolutely massive.
So San Marino's got mentioned.
And he's trying to play this really cool as well. The idea that, and if it's not you, I assume it's San Marino, just fire me over her number whilst you're at it as well.
Fire me over San Marino's number. I absolutely loved it. And do you know what? I think it puts a smile on your face. That could have been a really mundane job. That it could have been like, I've got to speak to the guy who's collecting the car. But instead, it's put a smile on my face. I think we should have more of that.
It's great, yeah. And obviously we'd like to encourage it even more.
By all means,
great. If you have any dealings with Crouchy out and about, feel free to say that you like the podcast and go for it. Good week other than that?
Yeah, really good, mate. Yeah, all pretty relaxed. Yeah, nice. I didn't do any football this weekend, so I was pretty chilled. Nice time with the family. Got to watch my little boy play football, and I took him two boys to golf as well, which was fun.
Are they playing golf now?
Yeah, got them playing. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Hitting it better than me already.
Oh, it's worrying, isn't it? I wish someone had started me on golf early. I've got to be honest, when I was young, when I was sort of 5 to 10 years old, I thought it was the most boring sport ever. You would just watch it. I had no interest in it whatsoever.
I'm totally with you, Chris. I had no interest, to the point where I stayed in the Belfry and the Ryder Cup was there, and I did not pick up a golf club or go to the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
Like they offered me free tickets because the players were moving in to the hotel, and I said no thanks. And I drove around, random places in just outside Birmingham. Like I went to Lichfield.
Just cause.
Yeah, and I thought, I'll have a look around at some places to live and stuff. And the fucking Ryder Cup was going on.
Isn't it mad how it changes? And that's the thing. Even if your kids don't like it now, you should force it on them. If you do have kids, force golf on them now, because there'll come a point in their life. It's a bit like the Lion King. It's the whole circle of life.
Yeah.
Simba. Pick up a 7-iron and play. You do need to. You will
enjoy this when you're older.
Enjoy it, and you won't understand until you're slightly older and looking for means to escape. Sometimes my weekend was interesting. So I went to the Watford Millwall game. Mm-hmm. Two things about this: Watford have been on good form lately, and then fucked it up in the FA Cup. And I went on a big rant on here about how important the FA Cup is, how highly I regard it. Once again, just didn't really commit, got absolutely thumped by Bristol City. And then it meant going into this league game against Millwall, I feel like they kind of took the wind out the sails and all momentum was gone. Lost 2-0 to Millwall, which is so annoying when you're on a kind of promotion push. It feels like we could be getting playoffs and all of that. Just on the Watford thing, something really interesting happened in the game, though. It was a shit game. But one of the things that happened was in front of the away end, the ball boy accidentally caught the ball on the pitch. So the ball was going out. I think it was for a Watford throw-in, right in front of the Millwall fans. And the poor ball boys just put a foot onto the pitch and caught the ball. And then obviously the whole Millwall away end are on him. You're getting sacked in the morning.
No way.
I felt so bad. And it was a Watford ball boy. I
kind of understand why the Watford ball boy is closer to the pitch than the away fans. If I'm being perfectly honest.
I just thought, that poor lad, if you were going to make that mistake in front of any team in English football, the away end of any team, you would not choose Millwall. So anyway, the Millwall fans start shouting. They're all like, because the guy's gone. And then it's a really odd one because I don't think there's any rule around this. The ref doesn't really know what to do. Interested to know what you would do there. So it's going out. It technically, I think, was going to be a Watford throw-in. I think the Watford captain has then decided to kind of let Millwall have it, but then fair play would be Millwall throw it to the Watford goalkeeper back, and then the game kicks off from there, which they didn't do. They just played on. But the poor lad then had to sit down. All the Millwall fans, you're getting sacked in the morning. But then obviously the Watford fans want to back up the ball boy. So then the whole stand's going, he's one of our own. He's one of our own.
Oh my God, the poor lad.
It was mad.
Do you know what? I think ball boys in general at the moment, I don't know if you watched the AFCON final the other day. The towel situation was, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. You're throwing the towel on, then he throws it back. Bearing in mind the game's still going on, and then they're trying to nick the towel off him.
Mendy's in goal, and you're so right. It's because there was so much stuff to talk about with that final. A lot of it's been discussed, but you're so right to shine a light on this. Ball boys are on a madness. So they were trying to, I think, steal Mendy's towel.
Yeah.
So the reserve Senegalese goalkeeper had to come and almost guard the towel.
But he's hiding it, and they're still trying to get it off him.
Even when the reserve goalkeeper's holding the towel, he's being chased by ball boys.
Chased by ball boys. He's getting chased by ball boys. I mean, and then the drama of the final. I mean, the entertainment value was phenomenal. I thought for the final. I know, listen, it's not ideal. They're taking the team off the pitch, and then when the play reconvenes, he tries a Panenka.
I mean, come on.
He tries a Panenka and the keeper saves it. Unbelievable scenes.
As a Panenka wanker yourself.
Oh, I really am. But you know what? In his defence, right? I think once all that happens, that they take the whole team off the pitch. Mane's get everyone back on. They all get back on. I think if ever there's a time to do a Panenka, I think no one's going to think. That apart from Mendy himself, who saved it, I think the blood's rushing. The keepers, everyone's blood's pumping. For me, definitely diving, and I think it's actually a good time to do it. But fair play to the goalkeeper there. He saved it, and he looks.
But mate,
awful.
it's been 20 minutes where the players have been off the pitch, And then you've got the mad situation where the Senegalese fans are trying to get onto the pitch to protest, and it's really kicking off. To then go and do a Panenka of all things.
Balls of steel. And unfortunately, I do think it's balls of steel, but, and then obviously the manner of the victory for Senegal as well.
Yeah.
And then the press conference, there was drama in there as well. Half of the Moroccan press conference left when the Senegalese manager walks in.
There is a kind of balls of steel award that we need to be introducing every week. Especially, maybe it's the one ball of steel.
Yeah, but and also I think you've got
ball of steel.
You've also got to score the Panenka to win that award.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately.
True. So shall we offer the ball of steel this week to the ball boy at Watford?
Yeah,
because taking on the Millwall away end, I think, deserves huge respect from us.
Huge respect.
Right, we're going to chat to John Bishop. I believe that you know him a little bit, and you've got an amazing story involving him coming to do some stand-up comedy for the England team once.
It's unbelievable. This episode of That Peter Crouch podcast is sponsored by Hire, an official global partner of Liverpool Football Club.
Yes, Liverpool. Pete, you had some great times there, didn't you?
I did, mate. Yeah, we won the FA Cup when I was there. It was, I have to say, it was a special time for me.
Well, today's sponsor shares a similar accolade as this. Hire has been ranked #1 global major appliances brand for 16 consecutive years.
Yeah, I wasn't quite that consecutive, unfortunately.
Didn't quite manage the 16 years.
Unfortunately not.
Hire isn't just an appliance brand, though. It brings innovation, performance and style into different aspects of consumers' lives through technologically advanced products.
Well, if it's stylish, it's a lot like me, Chris.
Same. You can actually connect the appliances via the Hon app that can tell you how best to set the dishwasher, recommend the best wine to pair with the meal that you've just cooked, and even provide recipe inspiration for tonight's dinner.
That is very good. I do need that at times. Chris, these products are going to make me look like Superman around the house. I am useless, but I love the idea of making a lovely meal for Abby. Me in the oven, using the AI camera and let me know when it's cooked perfectly. I never need to panic about it again.
Yeah, you really are embracing AI at the moment, aren't you, Pete? You're getting
yes.
there. You're getting there. You're getting there. And then what's great about this, next time me and Sid's come over, you can make something actually a bit more edible for us.
Okay, I will try. Now then, if you are in the market for some new large or small home appliances, then head over to the Hire website, www.hire.co.uk, and use the discount code HIREPOD for 10% off. Please spell out Hire. You spell it like this, Chris. HAIER. Hire. That is discount code HIREPOD for 10% off. Please spell this correctly, Chris. It's HAIER. Right, John, well, thank you for joining us, mate. It's an absolute privilege.
It's mad, isn't it? It seems mad, me and you, because I don't think we've seen each other really since the Amazon show.
Yeah. I love doing that.
It was a great show. I don't know why it didn't.
Yeah.
This is the one with Gabby Logan.
Me, Gabby, and John, right? And we had some great guests on it. It was called Back of the Net. We had a laugh, didn't we?
Yeah, and they weren't heavy on it first. I think we did something like 20 odd shows, and it was just before Amazon started showing the games. So we thought, well, they'll show the games and carry on, but Amazon being Amazon didn't deliver.
But we were saying, I think it's funny. It's I guess a circle of life thing. All this in that Crouchy was telling me that you've known each other a long time. And obviously throughout, we'll get into where you first met and all of that. But when you were just starting out, and now you're part of this whole madness, there is a film loosely based on your life, and Crouchy's the one interviewing you.
Yeah.
It's funny how it all plays out.
Is this thing on? Like, John, how does it come about, John?
Well, it came about because I met a guy called Chris Trickier. Do you know Chris? Married to Claudia. He's married to Chris Trickier. He's a film producer, but he's married to Claudia Winkleman. So a lot of people have met him via that or associated with that. But he's a producer of loads of films. And me with him, you know Gabe Turner and those lads, don't you? So we were both invited to a film about Usain Bolt. Documentary that our mates had done about Usain Bolt. So we went to that, and then afterwards there was like a sort of after party in a nightclub somewhere around here. And we're two middle-aged blokes sat in the corner of this nightclub thinking, well, what are we doing here? And it was because it was all full of cool media types. And he just said to me, how did you get into comedy? So I told him the story about, splitting up with my wife, going to do some stand-up and then they're eventually popping in and how it all transpired. And he went, mate, that'd be a great film. And I said, well, I'm trying to make... I'd written a Radio 4 play that was loosely based on it. I said, I'm trying to write, but I just can't... I can't seem to get past... If you're ever trying to do anything about your own life, you can't get past your own story. You keep on thinking, that didn't really happen that way. And they'd be pissed off if I said that. And I said, I just can't get past it. So he said, let's see if we can get someone else to write it or work with you on it. And we bounced about, never got anywhere. And then he was working with Will Arnett on Riviera, the Sky programme. And we'd been invited to Amsterdam for this hotel opening in Amsterdam. So I was in Amsterdam, Chris is in Amsterdam, and he brought Will Arnett. And he said, tell Will your story. So I told Will, and he went, dude, can I write it? So I said, fine, because he works with Mark Chappell, who's a good English comedy writer and so on, a good film writer. So for a few years we were backwards and forwards with the script. We sort of had the development deal, it was going, and COVID happened, that slowed everything down. And then a few years ago when he was making Maestro, Bradley Cooper was flying on a plane with Will. Bradley Cooper says, what are you working on? He said, we're just trying to finalise this script. We've got Searchlight who are going to launch it, who are going to produce it. And he said, can I read it? He read it. Will handed it over to him as a mate, really, to sort of say, have you got any notes on it? And Bradley Cooper came back and said, I love the story. Can I direct it? So then I get this phone call going, Bradley Cooper wants to direct it. What do you think? Which is like, you know what I mean? It's like you've got a five-a-side team and someone says Steven Gerrard wants to play. And you go, all right then. You know what I mean? And so all of a sudden it moves on to another level then, a completely another level. And all of this, like we're in the middle of a press junket, all of this becomes then a nice film, becomes a Hollywood film. And, Laura Dern gets involved and Andra Day and Kieran Hines. And you've just got an amazing cast, a brilliant script and a good story.
And how true is it to your own life? Like, I'm sure it's been Hollywooded in places, but is it a true reflection? And are you happy with it?
No, to be honest with you, Crouchy, that's the thing, the Hollywoody bit hasn't really happened. It's anything, it's been toned down. And we did a screening at the weekend in Liverpool with all of our friends and family came to it. So people who were on that journey with us. So for people who don't know, I split up with my wife, went to a comedy club, didn't want to pay the cover charge, put my name down and ended up getting called out and went on stage. So I never had an intention to do it. And then I started doing comedy. And then at some point, Melanie comes to a club, finds that I'm there, we end up getting back together. So that was the genesis of the story. Everything that happened afterwards, the fact that this has become my job and has been... That's not in the film. That's not what it's about. It's about these people finding each other again. And the way it's been filmed and the elements of our story that are contained in it are so authentic. That's when I came away from first watching it, I just went, the three words for it is that it's real, it's authentic, and it's honest. And it's an adult rom-com. Anyone who's had a relationship will relate to this film.
But I don't know whereabouts this sits in that point in your career, but give me a couple of minutes just to explain. I don't know if I've told you this about. When I met you, John, I was playing for England, it was 2006. I think I was early on in your career, right? And, I didn't know the John Bishop we see in front of us today. And then all of a sudden, Gary Neville's organised for us to go out in Manchester and see some comedians.
This is the England team.
This is the England team.
So
David
the
Beckham, Wayne Rooney,
England team.
Ashley Cole, John Terry.
When they were playing, because Wembley was getting done, wasn't it? So they were playing at Old Trafford.
Yeah, that was right. So we're staying in the Lowry. Anyway, Rio organises a night out. He said, I've got 3 comedians to come. We'll all go to Circle nightclub. It'll be hired out. We'll just watch these comedians. Anyway, there was, I don't know if you know the guy who's from Manchester, right? He's got up and he started hammering Stevie a little bit. He started giving him a bit of grief about the Liverpool-Manchester thing. So when it was like, I'm not going to laugh at Stephen, do you know?
So unless Stevie laughs, no.
Well, I was looking at Stevie and he didn't look happy about it. Yeah. So we've all just gone quiet. And I got to be honest, the guy, he was dying on stage. And then I remember John was up next and he comes out and instead of kind of taking the mic, you put it down and he sat on the stage. I'll always remember it. And he just started talking to us. You just like, look, you know, I saw what's happened there. Let's just have a chat. This is a tough environment for me. You know, let's all just have a chat. And you just you pulled everyone round. Yeah. And everyone then started laughing. We all started having a good time. And what had gone on previously had kind of been put to bed. And that's when I first saw you as a comedian, as a stand-up. And I just thought that was, to pull an audience like that around. Oh. Was incredible.
Do you remember that?
Do I remember? Yeah, still not been paid.
Who was organising it?
Rio said that Rio, because the other lads had struggled that much. He went, well, I can't pay you for that. I remember one of my mates was a Man United supporter. He went, I watch you play shit. You still get paid. So in the end, and of course, I'm with Rio about this years later. Mm-hmm. And he said, I said, you still not paid us? And he went, he said, look, I can pay you, not the others. I said, well, no, you had to pay everyone. So none of us have ever been paid, the tight bastards. No, I tell you what, the truth is...
I'd like to know your side to that.
Okay, well, the truth is, we're saying up, and there was me, Justin and Trevor with the other comics on. And brilliant comics. Justin Morris was particularly very good. Trevor was sort of hosting it. He was Rio's mate. He was more of an actor than a comic, but you know, and it was meant to, and he went on and tried to do the banter with Stevie, and obviously the difficulty, what people don't realise is comedies. It's not about how many people are in the room. It's about the atmosphere you create in the room. So if you walk onto a stage and there's like 12 people there, that's harder than there being 120, which is harder than there being 12,000, because if 60% of 12,000 people laugh, 7,000 people laugh and everyone else joins in. If 60% of 12 laugh, you've still got 5 people going. You know what I mean? So that makes it awkward. So it was, and also you've got to remember, we were all jobbing comics, circuit comedians, and you're walking on, and you've got the England squad in front of you. And so obviously that's, you know, these are your heroes. These are the people you pay to go and see. So that's sort of makes it a little bit more nerve-wracking.
Yeah, but also I guess you lads you've all been told to go along to this, really, haven't you? It's not like you've bought tickets.
No, yeah, exactly. So sometimes when you do a corporate do, someone says, "Oh, we'll book this comedian because I like him." You think, half these people in this room don't know who I am, don't like comedy, aren't into it. So there's an element of that, but also you've got to look at what's the demographic of the England squad. Well, they're primarily mad fit men in the 20s. So, you know, saying, oh, what are teenage kids like? They're going to go, I am one. You know what I mean? So you've got to look at the demographics of them. You've got to look at their world experience because, again, as a comic, you pull on things. There's no women in the room. They're just lads. So there's loads of things that are set against you. And also, John said he kept on trying to push the physio up.
That was right, yeah. So Bill Blood, the physio, he does stand up, but he's awful, but he just laughs. You know, like he just laughs. So he'll tell a gag, but he'll laugh that hard. He's in tears. That it's not a great gag.
But he makes it funny. So there's, but he's one of them. So he's in it. So we're all outsiders in it. And I remember going on and just thinking, well, I've nothing to lose here. And, you know, I hadn't been on telly, no one knows who I am. So I just relaxed into it. And that's what I've always found with stand-up comedy. In fact, when I used to do the Comedy Store here, I sometimes used to walk on and go, right, before we start, has anyone got any questions? And then people would shout stuff out. And then that would be my act. Now, if you look on social media, everyone's sort of playing that. But that's what I used to do because I never... It's funny, I've played the charity football games and done the soccer aid and played at Anfield and stuff like that. That's meant more to me sometimes than doing some of the big gigs because I never thought this was a job. I never thought it was going to be that important. So It's like anything. If you're more relaxed about it, it's easier. So that gig, I remember that gig, massively remember it, because it's like a challenge. And then I remember going, right, this is the only way of doing it. Don't try and win them over. Just relax and allow them to relax. And that's it. And then they'll come to you. And so what I've got, and I was clearing out stuff in my wardrobe recently, and I got a shirt, an English shirt with a ticket on. I mean, he had nothing for the lads to sign in, but I got a piece of A4 piece of paper, and I wrote on it, to Joe, Luke and Daniel, your dad was a better player than me, the England squad. And they've all signed it.
You showed me that on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, superb.
But I think that winning over a crowd, that's such an interesting... Like, I think a lot of people have to go do presentations and stuff like that, and it's a tricky position to put yourself in, because you want people to like you and you want to impress people, and it must be much harder when you're a comedian having to try and make people laugh. But this idea of just going in and asking questions at the start,
it was good. It was really
actually,
good.
There's I quite like almost the sport of comedy that you're talking about here,
Yeah,
and the techniques that you can do to win over a crowd.
And there are techniques. But like all sports, all comedy, all performance, is all down to being relaxed. The more relaxed you are, the more confidence you exude. The more confident you are, the more the person you're playing against is intimidated, and also the people playing with you have confidence in you. It's confidence is everything.
But listen, John, we're a football podcast, right? And well, loosely. I don't know what we are, to be honest.
You've had a few years
every now and then. But Liverpool, right? So how do you get into supporting Liverpool? I want to get into what Liverpool like back then and Liverpool now. Like, how do you become as big a Liverpool fan?
I think 90% of people are giving it, aren't they? You don't pick it. You know, I always find it odd when someone says, "Oh, I support Chelsea because when I was 11, I decided to." I think, well, you wasted 11 years not knowing what to do. For us, it was kind of a given. Me dad supported Liverpool, so we supported Liverpool.
Yeah.
I mean, at that time, and I think it's still relevant to an extent, but definitely at that time, families were split in Liverpool. It was Liverpool or Everton. And like my dad's twin brother is an Everton supporter. So that's how split our family is. I can't remember his name, but my dad's twin's an Everton supporter. And that was a gag, by the way. When I
was it? Okay, well, that's what it was.
I was just thinking, I think that's an odd family, isn't it? You don't know your own uncle's name.
That's how hard this comedy is, see? I thought I had him in the palm of my hand.
I'll put him right back to 2006.
That's why I never got paid. Stick your
Wait till I tell Ria about this.
So my dad, I've got to tell you this, because this is funny about that split in Liverpool. And so what happened? Me dad. So we grew up as Liverpool supporters, and my uncle Freddie and that side of the family were Everton supporters. And then Kenny was manager of Liverpool, and I'd gone to a charity auction with Marina Dalglish's charity, and one of the prizes was 4 seats in the director's box at Anfield for the derby, right? So I thought, right, I'm getting this. So I'm bidding. Got it. Phoned Eddie up. I said, listen, don't ask me what this has cost, but I've got 4 seats in the director's box at Anfield for the derby. I said, it's going to be me, you, me dad, and my uncle Freddie. And Eddie went, God, that's amazing. He said, of all the things you've been able to do, this new life that you've got, he said, that's what a dream. I said, I'm going to phone me dad. He said, so I phoned me dad up. I said, Dad, don't ask me what it's cost. I said, but I bid in an auction. I've got 4 seats in the director's box for Liverpool against Everton. So I'm going to take you, me, Eddie, and my uncle Freddie. And my dad went, I'm not going to match with him. He said, I'm not going to match with him. I said, what do you mean you're not going to match with him? He said, no. He said, we made an agreement. I think it was 1971. Liverpool played played Everton at Man City's ground in the semi-final of the League Cup or something. He said, that was the last game we went to together. He said, he was in the Everton end, we were in the Liverpool end. He said, I came out, I saw him, he said something to me, I said something to him. They started fighting, started knocking 10 bells out of each other, and afterwards they agreed never to go to the match together. I said, Dad, you're 75, for Christ's sake, surely you can go to the game. He said, no, it's Freddie, he winds me up. I said, Dad, you're 75, for Christ's sake. So I ended up convincing him to go to the game. So we go to the game, and we're in the boardroom, you know, the old boardroom in Anfield, big round table, and we're sat at this table, and we can't believe ourselves. There's me, me dad, our Eddie, my Uncle Freddie, Alan Hansen, his wife, I think it was Ronnie Wheel and his wife, and I think it was Ian Rush and his family. We're all sat at this table anyway, Liverpool legends like that. And we're sat there, we're having dinner, Sunday dinner. Sunday lunch in the late that, you know, I'm looking at me dad going, not everything has to be a butty. It's okay, you can use butty. And we're sort of trying it on our best behaviour. But Alan's obviously, you know, at that time was just finishing a match of the day, and so my dad goes, Alan, what score do you think it will be? And Alan Hansen goes, he said, I think Liverpool will win by at least 2 goals. And my Uncle Freddie went, fuck off, Alan. And my dad said, told you not to bring him, did I? Look at him, you shut up, you're embarrassing our John.
You've been back in the director's box since, or
I was there on Saturday.
Oh,
yeah. We went, took Will Arnett, because Will Arnett, who plays the character based on me in this film, amazingly is a Liverpool supporter. And Mark Chappell, who wrote it as well, is a Liverpool supporter. So we went. Yeah, it wasn't as much fun this time, I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
That's unusual, going to a football match with someone who's playing you in
I tell you what, when you say it's unusual, I bet that's never happened. Ever. Who's ever been to a sport event with somebody who actually plays a character based on them in a movie?
Yeah, that's a good shout.
I reckon you'll have a film of your life one day.
Well, I'd like to think so. That'd be nice.
Yeah, Greg Davies could be.
Mackenzie Crook. I'll get Gareth from the office all the time. I've had it before,
That would work.
Yeah, I think, you know, who else? Stephen Merchant?
Yeah, Steve. But you know, when you look at it, like you look at your life, and you know, we all look at our individual lives, but sometimes when you find yourself in the public eye, and particularly, you know, it's sort of an easier reason why you're in the public eye as a sports person. But then when you develop a career after and you look back, you think, this film's about a moment in my life. But there's been moments in everyone's life where you think, oh my God, that essence of that story is unique.
Well, I just think you're the ultimate example of, you know how you come up with an idea in a pub or say, we're going to start a podcast, something like that. You've got this one moment in your life that genuinely has become this film, this whole reason that we're here today. I mean, you look back at that moment or that little time in your life, which by the looks of it was kind of as happy as it was sad. And what an amazing thing to come from it all.
What does your wife think of it?
Well, Melanie was we had the screening in Liverpool on Saturday. So after the match, we had a friends and family screening. And it was, I think the reality of it hit us more there than it has done in all of these build-ups, because people were in that room who lived it. You know what I mean? Bridesmaid from the wedding, my best man, mates, all of that stuff. The Mick Ferry, who's the comedian who introduced me on that first night, was there with Dave Perkins, who ran the club, the Frog and Bucket. And the film's set in New York, and the film's about someone called Alex Novak who splits up with his wife and starts doing stand-up comedy. So it doesn't say John Bishop all the way through. He's not got my accent. He's not saying my jokes, but he's living my life. There's so many little moments in the film where you go, oh my God, that was the way it was.
Did you get much of a say on it? Because there's one bit where there's the old chant, the
Conquered all Europe.
Yeah. Which must have been
good. I was singing it on the way in.
No, you know that. So that wasn't in the script. So what was happening is the film's developed, I'm getting scripts and I'm sending back comments or notes, and that wasn't in the script. And when we first went to see a version, that wasn't the final version, but it was in a screening room around here, before they were doing all the lockdowns in the edit. So what happens, they do a screening and then you send notes and they do another one and then they go, this is it now, this is how the film's going to be. So we saw one of those and I saw it in there, and I'm like, so what's that? And so I got in touch with Will, and what had happened, Bradley Cooper, we were talking about this yesterday, me and Will on that. Bradley Cooper does these workshops with all the actors before he does films, and it's all about, things that make you happy, get them settled so that they can start getting in touch with their emotional reference points for what their character's going to go on through the film. And what had happened with that's the moment in the film where he's first gone on stage. So he's gone on stage, didn't expect to go on stage, then finds himself in the toilet thinking, oh my God, what just happened? So then he starts singing this Liverpool song. He starts singing it. The reason that he's done that is that's what Will in all these workshops was kept on going back to, because Will's a Liverpool supporter. No, when he was saying what makes you happy, he was singing that. We conquer the whole of Europe. He's singing that to this film crew in a comedy club in New York who haven't got a clue what he's doing. So when they were in that scene, Bradley had the camera on him, and the toilet in this comedy club, by the way, is tiny. He's got the camera on him, and he just went singing, and he started singing it, and they've kept it in the film. So it had nothing to do with me. But one of the best things that happened on Saturday is Jamie Webster, who wrote that song. I got him to meet Will Arnett yesterday in Liverpool at the weekend.
How was that for them both?
Oh, mad. Yeah. Like Jamie Webster sat in a cinema watching a film, seeing someone sing his songs, because for Jamie, like a mad passionate Liverpool supporter who became into prominence singing to the Liverpool fans, Liverpool songs, has now got an incredible career as a singer-songwriter aside. He'll always have this thing that will live forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you see him, I think was it in Madrid when he was playing in the fan park.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
I've never, this fan park, there's like, that was incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With the flares and the amount of people there. And
just him, because he's a true Scouse, true Liverpool supporter through and through, he'd be singing that to 6 people. He'd be singing it to himself. He's just all of a sudden come up with something that's given a whole career. And I think that's. But
then it's mad to imagine that even Bradley Cooper must have come away from that going, ole, sticks in your head.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It does. Yeah. I mean, there are some epic songs though, aren't there? The Liverpool songs, there are some crackers. Yeah. What do you make of it this year? With Arne Slot, with the team, with what's happened?
I think it's for the start, I've been I've got tickets, so my dad goes to every game. I go when I'm not working. So I've been to quite a few games now that my tour finished this year, and it's the pace of it. We've gone too slow. There was a bit at the weekend where Szoboszlai sort of breaking, and then he held back and sort of went sideways. And you think, I think the pace of it slowed down recently. Obviously, we had to stop getting beaten. We've gone these now 11 unbeaten or whatever it is, but it's not. That's not what we're about. And I think when you look at the teams that were like Saturday, at the end of the day, you're champions. We should be beating the team who was second from bottom of the league. 32 shots is great in a game, but it's still, there's something missing. So I think a little bit of energy. I also, to be honest with you, think there's been a lot of changes, like losing Diaz is a big thing, but also losing Trent. I think Trent gave Liverpool another option and often unlocked things that we just haven't got. But ultimately, I'll still be there next year.
There's so many will, right?
I know.
Do you ever involve yourself with the club? Do you ever fire off a message to whoever on the board?
Are you friendly? Yeah, you're friendly with anyone.
I'm mates with Billy Hogan, the CEO, and a few other people in the board, and and stuff like that, and I know the people in the club. But I'm a supporter. What's the point? I'm not going to say anything, am I? I'm not going to say to anyone in the club, I'm a comedian. Unless I'm telling them a joke, I've got nothing to contribute. The other 60,000 people in the ground dance. I think you've got to step back and go, they're professionals. You know what it's like. When you played, you could play a game on Saturday, and on Tuesday, some fella in a pub's telling you what you did right and did wrong.
Oh,
And that's not... There's a 1% difference between those people who are elite sportsmen and those people who aren't. And that 1% is very hard to capture. I think that's another thing with Liverpool this year. You know, with what happened with Diego Jota, you know, they're young lads at the end of the day, young men in the dressing room. They've lost their mate in incredibly sad circumstances. And they've been asked to carry on a physical sport where you have 1% difference matters. And I just think we all need to give him a little bit of grace and say, let's just get through this season. And Arnie, I think we were spoiled with Jurgen. I think for Liverpool supporters, we need a more forthright style of play. We need more excitement. I don't like the tippy tappy trying to get through. I think we need a little, but I also think it's in there. I think it'll come right.
Who's the other than me, obviously? Who's the best you've seen in the red shirt?
I can't see past
you. Yeah, the Rush was all right. You know,
I think for me, you know, I was the generation of, you know, loving. Well, when I first fell in love with Liverpool, it was you know, as a younger kid, it was like Phil Borsman and people like that. That's, you know, who I loved. And then you get into that next generation of players, and I always liked the workman. I liked the Terry McDermotts. I liked the Graham Souness and Sammy Lees. But then you see the flair of Kenny, and Kenny's always going to be a legend. But for me, I think Liverpool's best player will always be Steven. I think it's so difficult to see past him because he's such a complete player. Such a complete player.
And he laughed at your jokes as well.
Yeah.
Some achievement.
He pulled me out on that game.
But you always talk of Stevie G. We talked about this on the podcast of him being almost the test. You know, if you won him over, you were in. If you didn't, it was the opposite.
Well, yeah, I mean, even in that comedy gig, right? We've looked round there. And like, you think about that team there, they're all Galacticos, they're all top of their game, they're all winning trophies, getting to Champions League finals, winning Premier Leagues, FA Cups. And everyone's kind of looking, I think if Stevie was laughing, I think a few others might have laughed. Do you know? And I think that's just the aura he has about him. It's leadership, right? And I think, I was fortunate enough to play with lots of good players, but I always say he was by far the best. And I think a lot of the England players in that would say similar.
But why though?
I think he had everything.
Yeah.
I think he had everything. He could play right back, left back, you know, up front, centre half, and always be the best player on the pitch.
Yeah.
You could trust him as well. That's something I think you don't hear much about him, but it's kind of like he was a leader in the sense that you trusted his opinion, but also he was very good at fostering that team spirit, right? Where you trust it was a circle of trust with that.
Yeah.
You never really hear people badmouth him.
You know, that's him as a person, that's him as a man. And you can be a great athlete but not have those attributes, and he's got those attributes. But from a supporter's point of view, you knew, you know, it was as important to him as it was to you. And obviously being a Liverpool lad, you know, that had another element to it. But I think if you take him and say at any stage in Liverpool's history, he'd have got in the team.
Yeah.
And you couldn't say that with even some of the players. Now, the style of football has changed. He was such a complete athlete and player. He could play at any time, and as you say, be the best on the pitch.
It would have been nice to see him in the Jurgen Klopp team that were dominating.
Yeah,
you know, Champions League finals, leagues. It would be, you know, I mean, poor fellow was playing with the likes of me, and you know.
You did all right. You did all right.
You know what I mean? Were you in Istanbul?
No, mate.
No.
You know, Istanbul.
Everyone's got a story about Istanbul.
Yeah. Well, Istanbul, I'm sat here partly because of Istanbul. Because what happened is I had the ticket for the final. So I've been doing stand-up comedy for coming on 4.5 years. I had a ticket for the final because I've been to the games. And then I was waiting for the pharmaceutical company, and it was the American or international? I think it was the International Society of immunosuppression and transplantation conference was taking place.
That sounds loads of fun.
Exactly.
You try saying that, Crouchy.
Exactly. Was taking place in Seattle at the same time. And I was the sales and marketing director for the UK for a drug that stopped people rejecting their organs after the transplant. So my boss said, obviously, you're going over to this conference. I said, no, I'm going to the final. He said, well, the final's not paying your mortgage. This is paying your mortgage. This is the biggest conference for us this year. You've got to go. The Japanese who are aware for it all flying in. Oh, God. So in the end, I was on and on, and I thought, I've got 3 kids. I'm married. I'll just go. This is my job. Stand-up's a hobby. This is my job. So I went to the conference, and in the end, I couldn't find anywhere to watch the game. And the conference was over 5 days, and on the 4th day was the game. And I managed to get my flight changed so I could at least get home to England. Because in Seattle, it was going to be on 1 o'clock in the morning. No one's showing it at that time. So I flew home. 20-odd hours it took me to get home. Got into my house full of kids. Because all my mates had gone to the match, so all their kids and wives had come to our house. So I'm the only one interested in the game. There's little girls doing cartwheels in front of the telly. And I have time, I'm thinking, best decision I ever made.
Yeah.
Imagine giving all this up to go to that. At the end of the game, I'm like in bits. I've got jet lagged, I can't sleep. I'm walking around the streets at 3 o'clock in the morning. My mates are on the phone to me from the airport in Istanbul with the stuff. And I remember... And this sounds mad, but I remember thinking no one is ever going to tell me when I can't go to the match.
That's so cool.
And so I went, that's it. And within 2 months, I'd handed in my notice. I said, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian. And my boss went, what? I said, no. I said, I want to be a stand-up comedian. I want to be able to decide what I'm doing.
Oh, because some girl was cartwheeling in front of the TV.
Exactly. Imagine if we'd have got beat, I'd have gone, you know what, this is a good job, this.
And you wouldn't be here now.
Exactly.
Oh, mate.
You know, you did that stand-up comedy for Crouchy and Bex and that generation. Would you do it ahead of the World Cup for the current lot?
Would I do it?
Yeah.
It depends if they pay me in advance.
We'll get Rio to sort it out.
We'll get Rio, the fixer. Oh, mate, listen, good luck with the film and everything, mate.
Spending time with you.
Great to see you, mate. Great to see you. And it's incredible what's happening and good luck with it all.
No, I hope people get to see it's a good film. Yeah, and I can say that because I'm not in it. I can be honest about it.
All right, just lovely chat with John Bishop there.
Really was.
We've just come straight back into the room.
Straight back, yeah. I really enjoyed that. It's great chatting with him. I really get on well with him. I think he's a lovely fella and, good luck to him with the film. Can we just touch on the first one? Yeah. First port call was saying goodbye. It's all of our port. It's all fine. We just turned around and just briefly, myself and Ross both just turned around at the same time. Chris went for the handshake.
Well, it's because you did
left it hanging.
No, what you did. The problem is we'd already done goodbyes. I don't know why you decided to go again. Which was right to do because you two are pally, but because I was stood right behind you, I've then tried to follow up. You basically were heavy petting with him, and I've tried to follow him behind with the same sort of energy. Because it's progressed from a handshake at the start to what I thought was quite pally, and he just completely aired me.
So he's aired you completely.
But I don't think but the awkward thing was I caught the eye of both you and Ross here. And
unfortunately, you weren't going to let that lie.
No, so that's not ideal at all.
Not ideal at all. Do you know what? It was actually Ross that brought to my attention after as well, when another awkward thing. It's a similar scenario when we're in a lovely hotel, let's call it Steve Claridge's, and just reminded me, it's just taking us out of our comfort zone. We're not in the Chumber One bar. My pits have gone. My brads are getting leaky because we're away from home. I'm in Steve Claridge's. I'm finding it difficult. And then it just, he brought it back to my attention about Idris Elba. When I walked into Idris Elba and we were all setting up, I walked into the toilet and Ross is having a shit in there. Pre-Idris shit.
I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Like
Pre-Idris.
we rarely do these sort of. They're called junkets, right? In case you don't know, it's where
I love them.
These happen every major film, every big TV series that comes out. They put all the actors in a hotel, and the world's best film and TV interviewers go there, and you know everyone's on their best behaviour because you're either in Steve Claridge's or you know any of those hotels. And the last time we came, Ross is having a shit.
Unbelievable.
Today your pits are leaking.
Unbelievable. We're all over the shop. It's just I love these ones because it's so much goes on, and we know we shouldn't be here.
I mean, even right now, if you're watching this on YouTube, right, we're in a hotel. They give you a hotel room to set up in, right?
Fantastic.
All the cameras here as if we're about to film some sort of OnlyFans.
Oh yeah. It's very cucky behind the camera.
It's very cucky. The lads are all there. They've been setting up the cameras. It's sort of furniture pushed to the side a little bit. The lighting as well. It's just unusual being in a hotel room with this camera set up. At least for me, anyway.
Yeah, well, it's just
I
not.
don't know if you're partial.
No, you know, you don't knock it, so you've tried it. But I do think we're at home in the Chumbawamba.
We are.
But every now and then, I think when we go out and about. I mean, for instance, I want to go to Fosse Way, you know, where I delivered my paper round, and I want to go to where Andrew Cole went to. I want to go to the house that I delivered the newspaper to.
Well, I want you to turn up because I doubt that house knows, obviously, unless someone who's listening to the podcast knows the house. They won't know the house.
I could go there and tell you the house.
And I was saying we need to get a blue plaque on that house.
Certainly.
You know, and I think that's on our list, isn't it? Yeah, great. It's on our list. So we will get that done at some point. But yeah, John Bishop, what a bloke. This new film as well sounds great. Doesn't it?
No,
well
it's
worth a
fantastic.
look.
You know, good luck to him with it, and you know, I hope it goes well. And
yeah, mad what he was saying about Istanbul though. Basically, if it wasn't for Istanbul, he wouldn't be the comedian that he is now. The knock-on effects of missing a game or going to a game,
just the sliding doors moments, isn't it?
The butterfly effect. You know?
Yeah, really is.
It's mad. I bet you there's some people now that have either missed a game or and then end up meeting their wife or whatever it is because of it, or if they hadn't gone to a game, wouldn't have ... and goes on from there.
There's loads of moments in my career that I always think about, like what would have happened. You know, I went to QPR, for instance, like for 60 grand from Spurs. Never played a game. Wasn't looking to play a game that season, and 3 of the forwards get injured, cruciates, and you're like, well, now I remember saying it was sink or swim, and actually I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but I remember that was what I said to my mates. I was telling this story about sink or swim, and I ended up getting Player of the Year, and I was top goal scorer, and I think I said something, it was only between my mates, and it was it was sink or swim, and I said I came out doing backstroke. I'm not that type of person to say that, but it was funny because it was between me. It was between me and my pals, and I remember when I got Player of the Year at the end of the season, my mates loved it, and we had a laugh with it, and they said when you receive it, you've got to do backstroke, right? And I remember I got it on the pitch, and I think I missed the last game of the season, but when I got the suit and tie on, and I came on to get the award. And I lifted up because what was so good about Loftus Road back then, like my mates were always there. 10 tickets every game, first goal scorer, and if I got it, and then we were out that night. I mean, the tenner on it, 70 quid for the night, right? So for my mate, they were buzzing, right? And I kept getting the first goal. So we had such a good laugh at that time. We were 18 years old, living the dream, local club. It was brilliant. And I remember I got the award and I did
onto the stage.
No, so I'm on the middle of the pitch just doing pretending I'm waving the fans, but I'm doing backstroke. And obviously, all the lads are buzzing, and we go out again.
So this was pre-robot. This was the original Crouch celebration, really.
Yeah, it was a bit of a sellout, yeah, but it was
you
hard.
Should have continued with that, mate. Imagine that every time you scored.
What, backstroke?
Would have been amazing.
Yeah, it was all good fun.
But then if you'd never done the robot,
well,
think about it.
We wouldn't have these mics.
See, sliding doors.
Sliding doors.
All right, great. Shall we do this week's predictions and
Let's
get
do
into
the
the
game.
league and all that sort of stuff? Lots to talk about.
Okay, well, into our league now. I know Sid isn't here, but we'll get his thoughts and predictions. I think he sent a few voice notes in.
He has,
Well, no one predicted the Manchester derby as expected. I don't think anyone kind of saw that one coming. The new manager bounce.
It's so annoying because we did talk about it on the podcast and, you know, the idea was floated, but then we decided to go sensible. And I don't know, it's kind of one of those annoying ones that when it happened, I thought, fuck, why didn't I do that?
It is an annoying one because we did mention it. I just don't know. I mean, can a manager have that bigger influence and on the turnaround? Because obviously Fletcher's come in and it didn't quite.
No, but don't you think this
better? But
I think the noise around this one, and don't you think it's just thrown the onus on the players here? And as a player, I think you're forced to step up at that point.
pleased for Michael Carrick anyway.
Yeah.
I was really pleased for him. I know him. I've been around him, you know, right from under 18s all the way through, you know, same age. Played against him, played with him. Great guy. And I really wish him well. I hope it goes well for him.
It was the way he had to play it cool in the interviews afterwards as well. Not even a little smirk at times, just to try and make out, no, this is it. It's a work in progress.
This is it now.
Enjoy it by being disciplined, sort of thing. Even though you just know inside he was like, fucking come on. He must have been. You know, in a way, I'm so pleased for them because it does feel if they can maintain that energy, then it makes this Arsenal game that's coming up very, very exciting.
A couple of things with Michael Carrick that spring to mind here. When I think it was under 21s, myself, Joe, and Michael tried to buy a car from Auto Trader. Was a long camp, and yeah, we did it I think I did it in a Geordie accent or a Welsh accent. I was buying a car off this fella.
So they wouldn't know who you are?
No, just because we found it hilarious. Yeah. We never got round to buying that car. And also, Abby met Michael Carrick's family in a pub, and we had a nice dinner together.
Did you?
And I remember they said, "Oh, I didn't realise you were Geordies." And then she said, "Tune away." And she's like, "What?" Obviously, it's a way to tune, you know.
Yeah.
She said, "Tune away."
Tune away.
She's got it completely wrong. They all said, "Excuse me, what was that?" "Do you mean a way to tune?" So forever since then, I actually don't know which way around it is anymore because I've said tune away for so long. But anyway, back to the games.
Well, yeah, we ruined our score predictions with that. None of us backed United, and that's to our fault there.
Yeah, and that puts you, Chris, on 33. I'm on 39 and Sid's is flying with 46.
Well, it was low scoring this week, so you got a point in the Leeds-Fulham game.
Yeah, you got a point as well. And that you had Chelsea to beat Brentford. I think me and Sid's had the draw there. So Sid's actually got no points, but you know, and we just kind of broke even. So
new Chelsea manager. I know he's a friend of Sid's. I think you know him a bit as well. He's I don't know. There's a lot of people sort of going into his managerial style. A lot of sort of comparisons with Will from the In-Betweeners, that sort of thing. Like
it's a lot of quotes from him.
Yeah,
I think that have been taken out of context or
if it works, it works.
You know, if it works, he got a good result on the weekend. You know, we've got to give that time. I think he's a good young coach. Everyone around the place that I've spoke to speaks very highly of him. And I think if it works within the dressing room, then that's all that matters. It doesn't matter about all the outside noise. And I think he will kind of block that out. I think he's that type of character. He obviously believes in himself, and good luck to him. I
think literally any manager now, it's almost like there's a battle on everything to find memes for every. I mean, there's literally not one manager that would happen to.
Well, you've got to work very hard not to, haven't you? In this day and age of, you know, you say one thing wrong or, you know, that's slightly funny or cringe, mate. It's all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a difficult time to be a manager.
Okay, so look, we need more points. I need to somehow kind of... But it's not really about Sid. Sid is so far ahead that him not scoring any points doesn't really mean anything. Me and you
He's
both
gone on
scoring
holiday.
a point.
He's literally on the beach.
Yeah,
he's literally on the beach. You know when he's saying figuratively, you know, he's got the flip-flops on. He actually has.
I mean, he didn't even say last week that he was off this week or not. I mean... But you can't book a holiday that far away, can you? So late in the day.
I think he's Stephen Sidwell. He can do what he likes.
I think he does.
He does what he likes. Stephen Sidwell.
He does what he
likes.
The thing is, I wonder if he's going to be away a lot now that we've sort of signed him up to doing this gig.
Senor Sids?
Senor Sids.
I can be your Sidwell, baby. I think, should we get his take on Arsenal versus Manchester United?
Yes.
This part of the podcast is supported by Paddy Power. The big weekend fixture is Arsenal versus Manchester United. Let me give you some odds, right? Arsenal are favoured, as you'd expect, 6-10. A draw being 14-5. United less fancied at 9-2, even though they've had a big win in the Manchester derby.
Well, exactly that, and strange dynamics. What with kind of Arsenal, I can't even say Arsenal, but it's not really a dip in form, but a draw.
Well, it worked
suddenly.
Yeah. Well, Villa lost, City lost, and Arsenal have extended. So you have to say it's a great week for them.
You're right. They've extended a point.
They've extended their lead.
But then there is the other take on it. A draw in that game. Does it give any?
Could have been worse. Villa were at home,
I agree.
And they've got a fortress at home. Everton, you wouldn't expect really to get points there, although they've got a good record away from home. They were brilliant, Everton. I thought they played really well. Deserved it. Fully deserved it.
So we don't know yet if we've got a different Man United, and we don't quite know if Arsenal can sort of bounce back from a draw to a win. We'll see. But either way, it makes it exciting. Steve Sidwell is on holiday. Before we get his prediction, should we just let him check in with us? He's sent us a voice note. Here we go.
Hola, amigos. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo estás? Senor Sid here. Sorry I'm leaving a voice note. As you'll probably know, I am not with you boys in the Chumbawamba today, so I decided to take a few days out. Bit of R&R, bit of golf. Just about to tee off in about 10 minutes. So I should leave a quick voice note for my predictions. Hold the fort up well, lads, and I will see you next week.
So he's about to tee off.
Just about to tee off, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Is he 10 points clear?
It's Monday.
There's a slight suspicion of Arne Slot last year, like when they went to Ibiza during the season.
Yeah.
Feels like there's a hint of disrespect there to the rest of the
I think
the rest of the players,
I think in all his priorities, you'd think this podcast would be right up there.
Yeah, well, it just appears, that you take you're after ball for a couple of % in this league. Next year, you could pay the price for that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, not saying it'll be this year.
We'll see. Okay, would you like his prediction for Arsenal Man United? I'm sort of hesitant to play his in first because it means he gets to decide, but either way, here it is.
Right, first prediction, Arsenal versus United. Arsenal at home, you've got to fancy them, be favourites and strong. But United, a great win against City. I think Arsenal get this done. I'm going to say Arsenal 2-0.
Okay, he's gone for Arsenal 2-0.
Rare backing of Arsenal from Sid.
Well, he's had a lot of grief from Arsenal fans, considering he started at the club as well.
He's not mucking around with his voice notes either, is he? He's banged these out.
He wants us off the firm quick.
Is he getting paid for this? This is wild.
He's in and out. He's teeing
it's like
off.
we got John Bishop today, isn't it? Okay, all right. All right, so he's going 2-0 Arsenal. I mean, to me, that feels like the sensible choice here. It's just whether, for want of a better phrase, Michael Carrick can maintain this bluey that they're having.
Yeah, they're on a bluey.
They are on a bluey.
I don't mind. I'm happy to go next, and if you want to.
Go on then, mate.
I am going to go United to carry on, right? I don't think they're going to win, but I'm going to go with 2-2.
I want to do that. That's what I had in my head as well, mate.
You love a Desmond at the moment.
I love a Desmond. It's not really working for me.
I'm going 2-2. I think I've thought about 1-1, but I'm going to go for 2-2.
All right, nice. So just having a quick look on Instagram. So we've got David O'Sullivan,
Ronnie's brother,
Kieran Hunter,
Milf's sister.
Ollie Jorgensen, It says, is Des booking his next Dubai trip? Solly Lipshits. I might be pronouncing that wrong.
Solly, well, he can't be called Solly Lipshit.
He can.
Oh, he is, yeah, he is.
Solly Lipshits. Let's see who old Lipshits is
on
saying.
the wall. When I get pulp, common people. When I came round to call, you didn't notice.
Shit's on the wall. All right, he's gone for United 2-1 Lipshits. I personally think that Desmond is a really good shout. I can really see it happen. Is it Weasel White if I go 1-1?
Weasel White? No, I think that's for 35.
Or do I go United?
Oh, you fancy him to could win? That'd be
The odds are against me there.
That'd be cat amongst the pigeons, wouldn't it?
It wouldn't.
Carrick
It would.
will firmly be at the wheel then, wouldn't it, if he wins that?
It's at Arsenal this as well, isn't it? Oh, no.
Oh,
1-0. Okay, yeah, 1-0.
He's going with 1-0.
Yeah. Horny draw.
Okay. Okay, Chris, let's do the Paddy's Boost here, right? This is where we pick a leg of the Crouchy Pod Bet Builder. The odds on that Bet Builder then be boosted by 20%, and it'll put on the special section of the Paddy Power website and app. I'm not sure how it's going to work because we haven't got Sids with us, but maybe I'll do two. I'm going to go first. Player to score first, Bukayo Saka.
Okay, yep. Player to be carded, I'm going to go Casemiro.
2 shots on target, Victor Gyökeres.
Fine.
Okay, the odds are correct at time recording. Please gamble responsibly. All right, moving it on, Chris. We're going to Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Bournemouth have scored 11 goals in the last 5 matches. Haven't kept a clean sheet in 5. So you'd expect there to be goals. Slightly disappointing from Liverpool, I think, against Burnley. Great goal from Burnley's point of view. And well played to Burnley as well, I have to say. I think they defended really well. And you know, Liverpool just don't feel like they're clinical enough. Obviously, they played really well. There's an incredible amount of shots, loads of attacking play, just didn't have the finishing touch.
All right.
What's going to happen? What does Steven Sidwell think?
Let's have a look.
Okay, Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Bournemouth at home. They've shaken a few up this season. Liverpool have had a few draws from what I can see. I think Liverpool might just edge this one. I think this could be a tough away fixture for Liverpool. I'm going to go for Liverpool 1-0.
Interesting. Because I'm sort of tempted to go the other way.
Oh, really?
Which seems madness, doesn't it?
Do you think the Cherries?
I think so. Yeah. And actually, looking at the DMs that I can currently get through, because Steve's Wi-Fi is
Steve's struggling with his Wi-Fi.
Really pissing me off right now. But from the few messages that I've managed to sneak through, there's a bit of backing here for a Cherries win. 2-1, 3-1. Jack Fowler says 3-1 here. Lipshits has gone 3-1. 3-1 is he's gone 3-1 as well. I don't know if I want to go 3-1. I can't follow Lipshits in there, but I might go 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1 Cherries.
2-1 Bournemouth.
It seems insane.
All right, lovely. Oh, someone's just peeked round the corner. I'm going to go. I love recording away from home. So much going on. Just never know what's going to happen, do you? No. That could have been Steve. I'm going to go. Okay, I'm going to go the other way. Liverpool to win. 2-1. I think it'd be tight. I think it'd be nervy. Ekitike winner, last minute. Game on.
All right, cool. Right, I'll tell you what we're going to do, because this has been a busy but very good podcast so far. Should we whip through the next fixture? And if we have time, we can get another message or two, because we did promise we would do emails this week, Crouchy, and I'm concerned we haven't done any yet.
Yeah, no, we got to do the messages. I always love the messages. Crystal Palace. I mean, God knows what's going on with the manager. They've lost their captain to Manchester City. Can I just touch on that? I think I understand from a club's perspective, right? They're going to lose him in the summer for nothing. 20 million is not to be sniffed at. You know, in this day, for Mark Gay, it's not what he's worth. He's worth more than that. But yeah, you know, it's £20 million, right? Yeah. You know, and I think it's the manner of maybe before the game, and the manager's kind of fuming about that. He's lost Elise, Mark Gay. It's difficult for a manager. I understand that, but I do think, that is really where Palace are, aren't they? They are, unfortunately, they haven't built on the FA Cup win. They're getting into Europe. They haven't. I think from a manager's perspective, he's thinking, right, we can kick on here and we can become a European team on a regular basis. And unfortunately, the powers above him haven't seen it that way.
Yeah.
It's more about staying in the league.
But then what is the... Obviously, we don't see a lot, so we're just second guessing here. But then Glasner comes out and says he's going to leave at the end of this season. How much of it's his choice as opposed to what he's been told or what the plan is there? And it's a confusing situation because he's kind of put everyone in a bit of a holding pattern there now. And as much as it's brave for him to come out and then start saying we've been held back, they feel the transfer policies they've almost been abandoned. The players and the manager are abandoned. The fact he's already said he's leaving, I don't know. Does it put Palace in a difficult situation? And has it added to the kind of uncertainty around the club?
Yeah, I mean, if you're like I said, I think you say someone like Brennan Johnson that's come into the football club as well. How does he feel? I think, the ambition probably hasn't been matched, but, you do have to look at the club as a whole and think, what, if you're the owner as well, you do have to balance the books a little bit as well. You can't keep bringing players in. They've got a good structure at the club, bringing players through and buying good players and selling them on. And that's always been the kind of case.
I can't tell if it's more noble to have your manager give a lot of notice to say, look, I'm going to leave at the end of the season. And almost that's in a way quite endearing that they're kind of, they're being, it feels like they're being honest and transparent about where they're at and what they're doing. Or if you really think about it, it's just putting your club in a whole more difficult situation.
What a horrible situation for the fans to be in. They've gone from being probably the best moment of their career, watching Crystal Palace win that FA Cup, going into Europe, being so excited, and then this all unfolding towards the end of the season, losing games.
We talk about the FA Cup. We talk about, look, it's the various different viewpoints of importance on the FA Cup. And we said at the beginning of this episode, how Watford, for me personally, it feels like didn't do enough in the third round, get dumped out, then we're losing our next league game. And it feels like a certain amount of momentum that we had is kind of been lost. And you look at Palace, they won the FA Cup. They go out to Macclesfield. It's great getting them lads on, by the way.
Yeah, brilliant. Loved it.
It seems like a big response to that. But it's just like how Palace have just changed around. And anyway, is what it is there.
Yeah.
And,
anyway, we haven't
touched on.
sad
to see.
We haven't touched on Chelsea enough there, but we'll go straight into the scores.
Shall I get Senor?
Are Palace going to dig deep here and do something that no one can see? You know what I mean? It feels like there's a lot of turmoil going on at Palace, certainly with the manager. Can they get a result here?
Okay, Senor.
Okay, and last prediction, Palace versus Chelsea. So under new manager, Liam Rossini's had a decent start. He's got some wins under his belt as well. So Palace, Glasner, I mean, I don't even know what's going on there at the minute. He's come out of that press conference and said his bits. So he will even be in charge. I do still fancy Chelsea on this one. So I'm going to go for a Chelsea away win at Palace. I'm going to say 2-1.
You just know at this point he's turned round to, I assume, John Terry and the other lads there, that crew, and gone, right, let's go.
He's gone, yeah. Let's shut them up. Let's go and have a crack, eh?
All right then. So predictions there.
Do you want to go?
I do. I'm going to go with Josh Bryant here. I've just found you in my DMs, Josh. Says, hello, what's it, pubes, long pube, one pube. Regards to your families. Here are my predictions. And he's gone for a couple of draws before, and then he's gone 2-0 Chelsea. He says on the Liam train.
He's on the Liam train.
Choo. I'll go 2-0 as well.
That's what I was going to go, if I'm honest. So 2-0 and 2-1's gone. Okay. I'll go with 3-1 Chelsea.
All right, there you go.
Okay, should we do a couple of messages?
Yeah, let's do it.
We have promised them, right? Afternoon, lads. Starkey, Crouch, and Red.
Assume that's redhead, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. I'm sat listening to your New Year's Eve podcast after listening to every episode from day one. Love you guys, despite not being a great football lover. I just enjoy the chat. That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, we get a few messages like that from people that just don't have a fucking clue what we're talking about with the football. Which actually says a lot about us.
Yeah, no, it's good. Well, we're inclusive of all.
Yeah.
You don't have to love football.
Mate, I watch Spring Watch occasionally and enjoy that, and I know nothing about.
I like Country File. Huge fan of Country File. I'm so happy.
I'll tell you the one that I listen to sometimes, which is mental. Like, genuinely don't know what's going on, but I find it the most calming thing. Have you ever listened to the shipping forecast?
Well, I know where they have the bands in Liverpool. I love the shipping forecast. I watched Miles Kane there.
Mate, I urge you, like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, whack the shipping forecast on in bed, and you lie in bed, and it's all the kind of warnings to all the boats out at sea. And then all you do is you sort of imagine you're on a little boat somewhere. It's so hard to.
Oh no, bizarrely I totally get that.
Yeah.
Like I'm just imagining myself when you said that, just on a boat in a really calm sea, and just think, oh, I hope he's avoiding that one.
I'm going to get you on it. I'm going to send you a link to the shipping forecast. We'll get your thoughts on it for next week. The other one that we will go into your message, Sarah, when I'm in a position where I don't have a fucking clue what they're talking about, and it's not necessarily that I enjoy it, but I'm intrigued by it, is when you're at the dentist and they're in your mouth and they're going, B1, fine, C1.
Yeah.
Like, what's the code?
Yeah.
Like, why are you... And then I start, because I'm really cynical, I start working out which is the bad numbers, or like, because they're talking to their little assistant, aren't they? Yeah. Matey on the chair. And C1, fine. D2, ruptured. Like this sort of thing. I'm like, wow. Shit, I've got a ruptured D2.
Yeah.
But they never talk in sort of normal. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get a dentist on at some point.
You just triggered. Sorry, Sarah, but you just triggered something off of me there. I used to know someone who was a doctor's assistant. Yeah. Yeah. So you talk about the dentist assistant. I knew someone who was a doctor's assistant, and they were quite open with the local neighbourhood. Like Deborah's got genital warts again. and I've been privy to these conversations. So if you think your doctor's assistant isn't talking, be very aware. Is all I'm saying.
There you go. Anyway, Sarah.
Okay, she brought up the first date ick. Sarah brought up the first date ick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The bowling alley first date, which has recently cropped up in conversation. I had a guy I dated recently. Please let me know if I was out of order on the below, and apologies if this causes offence to any delicate souls. I've been unsuccessfully dating for 5 years. This could well be one of the reasons why I haven't locked in a boy yet. But for me, if a guy loses to me in a game of bowling, I will fancy him less. Totally agree. It's a reaction out of my control, and I must point out that it isn't a judgment on his manliness, only how much I fancy him. Yeah. I feel the same for darts, pool, and anything, and even going down the range. Thoughts, signing off, bumpers down. Yeah, totally agree. For instance, if someone's taking you out on a date and he says he goes for bumpers up, just fucking walk out of the place.
Hold on,
it's not acceptable.
But if bumpers are down, you mean the bumpers are on?
No, bumpers up is bumpers on. So bumpers down would be...
Okay, bumpers down means no bumpers.
No bumpers.
Yeah, fine.
Well, no. It's like I say again, if a fully grown man puts his fingers in an 8 and tries to throw one down there, has to be 10. 10 minimum.
Sarah's made an interesting point. It's like this is not a thing about manliness or anything like that. It's just what you personally, there's something that you can't quite stomach,
Yeah, my sister, I remember I was away with a family once, and my sister had a game, and she's very good at table tennis, right? But she had a game of table tennis with her husband, and she battered him. Did she? And I watched it unfold. And as he got up to walk out, he didn't seem too he was disappointed, but he didn't seem too disappointed. I went, are you all right with that?
Can you imagine?
Are you okay with your missus battering you at table tennis?
You've got quite a competitive family.
Well, I just didn't know. I just thought, I was flabbergasted, really. That, for me, I don't know. Unless you're going out with, the world table tennis champion, I don't think it's acceptable to be losing.
I don't know. I think it depends on the circumstance. I think a nice couples game of table tennis, if you're a few beers in, there's barbecue sort of thing. Sometimes if it's not competitive, I don't know. If you're on holiday, though, there's normally other people around, isn't there? Did you ever go on holiday and you'd end up playing table tennis, but there'd be other Dutch kids, French kids, like all of that, or you'd have the campsite football match and it got really fucking lively.
Yeah.
Like the England lads would line up in their England shirts, and we're all camp. It was like Eurocamp or something, or Haven, and it would get treated really seriously. Those kind of situations you can't lose, but I don't know, man. Like I think on a date, is it really competitive? Like, are you?
I just think Sarah's talking my wavelength here. Really is. She just says, "I don't know what it is. If I beat him, I'm going to fancy him less." And in my opinion, I would agree with that. If I got beat, I would expect to never see her again.
I think there is a link between if you're good at bowling or you're good at these things. There's like telepathic signs or whatever it is that suggest you're good in bed as well. I think if you have a bit of flair, you can tell a lot. I could tell a lot about you. And what you'd be like to sleep with, I think, by getting you to do, say, 3 sports, I could probably give a quite accurate assessment of what you would then be like. Yeah. And I think those 3 sports could be bowling, table tennis probably, and then what could the third be? Ice skating as well.
Yeah, but I'm very bad at that. But but I wouldn't expect the man to be better at ice skating. I know this is very. I know this is very general, but well, I wouldn't expect that. If I went for a date, I would expect the lady to be better at ice skating than I don't know. Listen, this is just me. I'm not generalising. Whether it's rollerblading, mate, totally fine. There's certain things that I just expect that the female's better at, and bowling is not one of them. I feel like if what Sarah's saying is as good as she is, I would try my bollocks off to win. If I was a couple of down to Sarah, I'd have to make sure that I won. Unfortunately,
just very quickly as well, I went to that Lapland, over the Christmas period, and they've got a little ice skating rink on there. I can't ice skate.
I can't either.
I've never been able to. There's always one twat that goes round backwards. Like, mate, bear in mind, they're all I'm there holding onto the penguin.
Mate. I'm so with you on this. There's a Canadian near me, right? And you're like, every year I see him going backwards. He's like, we all know you're Canadian, mate.
I think if you're going backwards on an ice skating rink in a public session, you are a bellend.
and just to clarify here, if you don't think that, everyone else does. So put that in your pipe and enjoy. All right.
Quite an angry end to the podcast, it feels, because it was really quite friendly with the John Bishop stuff, and it's ended quite aggressive. I worry.
You know what? Yeah, I just think it's nice to have a balance. All right. We'll see you next time.